Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing my most recommended survival gear for under Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be discussing my most recommended survival gear for under $30. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes or our daily giveaways. And make sure you smash that notification button so you don't miss anything. Also, we have a new round of our Amazon gift card giveaways, and to enter, you must be a subscriber and share this video using the YouTube tools in the watch page below. We also pick winners in the very next episode, so if you enter on this particular giveaway, you'll find out who the winner is on the very next episode. Now, this is a video series that we've been covering for about a year now, where we gather throughout all of our testing throughout the year, where you guys have seen this in individual reviews, bug out bags, survival kits, and throughout all our testing, we've looked and noticed like, oh my gosh, this gear just sets itself apart, especially for its extremely budget-friendly price. We definitely need to put it on our most recommended list. If you want to see deeper dives into the various gear that we're going to be showcasing in this video, you're definitely going to have to check our feed and go check out these videos. However, we'll be overlaying some of the outdoor footage where we've used this various gear in different situations. The first item on this list is the Corona Razor Tooth Folding Saw. This is a 10-inch saw, and for the money, this thing's like $19 freaking. It is one of the best crosscut saws on the planet. With that 10-inch blade, like I said, using the SK4 impulse hardened steel, this thing, you just don't get any better for the money. Now, there are better saws out there, like Silky saws. However, for this ridiculously large size and for the stupid cheap price, it's just super hard to beat. The next item on the list is the UST Solo Cook Kit, and we love this kit due to the fact that it is a nice complete bush pot system that is really cheap. For 14 bucks, you can cook over direct flame without even trying because of its single wall metal construction. But with the really long arms that have the silicone coating on them, they help keep a very comfortable grip, but you don't have to worry about necessarily burning yourself if these get a little too close to the fire. When you're doing single person, obviously because it's a solo cook kit, some solo cooking or water boiling, this is just the perfect size without having to overwhelm you with too much size and weight. Next up, we have the SAM Splints, and these are absolutely amazing. For anyone who wants to take their first aid seriously, these are a must. These are absolutely fantastic. You can pick these up on Amazon, but these are the actual ones that our EMT buddies actually used. This one actually came from a buddy, Chris Deslow of 4 Directions Bushcraft. A lot of you guys know him for his awesome budget-friendly fire steels that are some of the best on the market, but he's a full-time paramedic, and he actually hooked us up with this particular SAM Splint, and we bought the XL on Amazon. But for these being so versatile and so modular in an emergency situation where you're having to deal with broken bones and sprains and conforming around neck injuries, for 10 to 14 bucks, these are absolute must-have. Next up is the Cash Cap by WAZOO Survival Gear. Now, a lot of you guys have seen over the past couple years the gray one that they had, but it was kind of sporting all WAZOO-y everywhere. I understand how some people, that might be a little niche, being basically promoting a product constantly. But they came out with this new all-black version, which I think is fantastic, because essentially it is a morale hat. So you can put any morale patch you want to on there, whether you're taking it to the range, you're going to go outdoors. We just have our American flag on there. But it still has the same great, awesome Cash Cap technology. You have all your sleeves and pockets stick in survival gear and little ferro rods everywhere, but the new mesh system for their survival gear setup is actually a lot better because you have a darker, more see-through breathable surface, so you're not going to be sweating so much when you actually have this hat on. But because of the pouch-like kangaroo pouch substance with the top layer being added to it, if you run into a situation where you take your hat off, you won't necessarily have your gear fall out and it'll be much more secure. Over here, we've got the Lighting Ever camping lantern, and this is the freaking amazing. You guys saw the bigger version about 6 months ago, and it was really, really chunky. And the fact that they built this smaller version, which is not as powerful over this 1,000 lumens, but it's a 500 lumen searchlight, which is really freaking bright. It will shine away, but it also has this back portion right here. Have your camping lantern on high mode, then just down to low. And they have the red beacon for night vision, but if you need a signal for help, they have it a blinking mode as well for emergencies. However, one thing that really impressed me is it has a 500 milliamp battery, so you have a long run time with this system, but the hooks are actually made of metal, which is not something you generally get to see from a cheap $25 item. And given the fact that it's USB rechargeable, makes it very, very, very convenient. Here we have the Soul Emergency Blanket. Now, emergency blankets are a staple for most people's survival kits nowadays, but we like this particular one in addition to the Grabber Emergency Space Blanket that you guys saw in a previous recommended video, because of the fact that they are a lot bigger, but they're more robust than the very super cheap $1 knockoffs. These are about $4.75. They're a little more expensive, but their ability to be more robust, and with the new rapid deploy technology that this one incurs, to me, this is probably the most complete system, given the fact that you can deploy this when you need it to most, like you're in hypothermic conditions at the ready with no questions whatsoever. This wouldn't be Drop 4 Survival unless we have some knives up in the house, and this is the Cold Steel Kukri Machete. We actually re-got this for like the 4th time at Battle Box Mission 35. But for this being made of 1055 high carbon steel and just getting a massive like 13-inch blade for 25 to 19, about 19 bucks, this thing is a powerhouse. So if you need a very, very, very cheap beater machete that you can rely on, but also use it as a makeshift kind of really large chopping survival knife, this would be a definite go-to, especially with the super grippy handles and the robust springy nature. It works. Now, this next item is a first aid kit from Survivalware. Now, this item is a smidge more expensive than 30 bucks. It's $34. So if you can't spend the extra $4, I'm so freaking sorry. But for how complete the system is with having ouchie boo-boos, but also a little bit of trauma thrown in there, this is just probably one of the best price kits I've ever seen. So diving over to the kit for a quick overview, it has some conforming bandages, some elastic bandages, CPR kits, trauma shears, adhesive dressing, emergency blankets, rescue whistles, but also has more important things like abdominal bandages and triangle bandages, so you need to stop some bleeding and really put a lot of pressure on a wound. This whole system will be a very awesome basic kit. Next up, we got Sprongs! And you're like, what? Yeah, you heard me. I said Sprongs. I wouldn't necessarily count them as a survival item per se, but they're definitely going to be a morale booster and just a convenience factor for your camping situation, your bug out bag survival kit, and this is why. So you have separately, when they separate, you have your utensils, and you would most likely have your Bushcraft or survival knife with you, but by just connecting them, this makes it very convenient to stow away. But the fact that they're a lot longer, so when you're diving into your bush pots, you can get to the bottom of the barrel, or your mountain house meals, they just really, really work instead of just standard short, stumpy utensils. However, they come into tongs, hence the word Sprongs. And why that's actually really super useful is if you're doing pan fishing, you're cooking anything on a skillet or frying pan, and you need to flip some stuff over, you basically have everything you need in a camping situation. You'll have your fork, your spoon, your knife is already going to be on you, and you've got tongs for camping comfort and just overall convenience in the kitchen when you're outdoors. These are awesome for like $9. I know a lot of you have seen my Jacare Puka 140 and my Tarab Skrama video on my channel, and those knives are amazing. And this knife is no different. This is Jacare Puka 110, and the reason how I made this list is right now it's like $31. It's like $1.99 over the $30 mark, which was a very recent change for 2018. But for the past few years, they were $29.99, which is how they ended up on the list. But if you want an awesome full tang, awesome survival knife made from a really nice 80 CRV2 high carbon spring steel that will get the job done no matter what, no questions asked, and will basically beat the brakes off any more on the planet for the price, these, in my opinion, one of the most important preps that are on this table is the Range Stick by Fluid Technology Solutions. These came from our buddies over at Scallywag Tactical, who introduced these particular ones to us. But for $19, you get a 10-pack. And what they do is they're actually Ford Osmosis water filtering pouches. You basically just drop them into the water and let them sit for several hours. And once they fill up, you're gonna have hundreds of calories of electrolytes and energy pumping into your body, as well as hydration. You think of these as liquid food rations. So if you have a couple emergency food bars, you drop in them like 5 or 6 of these into your emergency kit. And when you find yourself in a situation where hunting and food is scarce, as long as you can find a source of water, you'll have your food rations, electrolytes, sugars, and energy to keep yourself going, as well as hydration. Next up, is we talked about these in a recent video. This is the Baofeng's UV5R. Now these are B-Techs, but it's the exact same thing. For 25 bucks for an entry-level ham radio, these things are absolutely fantastic. If you want to see a deeper dive, definitely check out our actual tutorial and setup video that my wife took over for us. It was amazing. But what I wanted to show you is this. This is kind of our complimentary upgraded rig, and it still has the base UV5R for 25 bucks. But for an extra 10 bucks, we actually popped on a 3800 mAh battery, which gives us a lot longer battery life of over the 1800 mAh battery. But then for 9 bucks, we added the Nagoya 771 antenna, which gives us a 15-inch antenna to give us better range and signal if we find ourselves in a grid down emergency. Next up is the Cold Steel Pocket Bushman. You guys have seen this in a bunch of videos, most notably my 206-piece EDC Organizer Survival Kit video. And for 25 bucks, you get a 4.5-inch blade made with CTS BD1 steel. You get the stainless steel handle material, but that ram safe lock is super robust. And when you catch yourself in a situation where space and weight are a concern, but you want a really good knife that if it happens to break, by the time you get back to safety, it is completely beat up because you had to use it past what it's designed to do. This has got to be my most recommended outdoor survival folding knife on the market. Next up is a Fire Steel, and you're like, whoa, Chris, what's up? It's not a 4DB Fire Steel. No, it's not, but we're still gonna have those down in the video description because they're absolutely epic. But we wanted to highlight these, what came from my buddy, the Survival Smith. And you guys most notably know his work as a custom kydex maker, but he makes these really nice custom ferro rods. But additionally, something we want to point out is these are the Striker Lights by Mercwares. These are actually designed for flint and steel, but because of their really sharp, hardened 90-degree edges, they make perfect fire steel strikers. These are the mini boss kits by Stanford Outdoor Supply. They sent us like a bunch of these. And to me, in my personal opinion, these would be the best 10 bucks you will ever spend. Right here we have the Fire Boss kit, mini fishing and hunting kit, and the emergency signaling kit. He took some of the most important and the top most requested gear for the mini version and put them in these really nice, epically budget-friendly packs. But the thing about these are super small. They fit in the palm of your hand really nicely. But for $10, you'd be able to get all 3 of them cheaper than you'd be able to get just one of the standard sizes. Next up is the Military Speedhook by Go Prepared Survival. Now, these are sold on Go Prepared Survival's website, but you can also pick them up on Amazon where they have it linked in there. We'll definitely have that in the video description. But you guys saw this in my DFS Micro Plus Survival Kit. We keep these in our personal bug out bags. Like I said, this is highly recommended gear. It's been in the military for about 25 years and throughout all of our personal field testing. And what you guys saw in my really good buddy Zachary Fowler's videos recently with him doing a lot of ice fishing with these things are an absolute joy. You get 3 stinky dehydrated baits before each freshwater fishing. You get a wrench to actually test the tensioning bar. But for anybody that doesn't know what these are, this is actually a spring-loaded mechanism. Set the hook in a fish's mouth very effectively and instantly, and this will allow, with the spring-loaded system, help you attain a higher ratio for fishing, especially in a bug-out emergency where your stress levels are high and you may not be as level-headed and calm as you would be normally fishing casually. These things will get the job done. Next up is one of the most important trauma kit additions you could probably put in your survival kit when you're considering first aid. These are surgical staplers. And if you happen to be untrained in actually doing sutures, these could be a lifesaver for someone who has a deep gashing wound while you're trying to get them to safety. They do require a minimal amount of training, but these things are super cheap. You can actually get the stapler with 35 of them preloaded and a removal on Amazon for like $11 by Medline. They're super cheap. But the reason why I'm not actually taking it out is because if I actually have to use these in an emergency, we need these to actually maintain their sterility, which is why they're still in this pack. Next up is my Bushcraft necklace from WAZOO Survival Gear, and for me, this is an EDC must-have. This is a ceramic striker and a fire steel wrapped in your necklace. Now, if leather is not your thing, they also have the Firecraft necklace that is rocking 550 fire cord, so you're automatically gonna have tinder attached with it, which is pretty freaking sweet. But the concept of this is basically have a small microscopic emergency system where you can scrape your fire steel really effectively and be able to start a fire. Now, you guys saw a video about 6 months ago on WAZOO Survival Gear's channel and on my channel where my 11-year-old son actually got our full campfire started with the WAZOO Bushcraft necklace, and we actually couldn't even eat breakfast and start cooking until he got a fire. And the fact that it was so effective really spoke volumes to me. All in all, this does it for our list for our most recommended survival gear for under $30. Now, if you actually want to catch a wider variety of items, we actually have a full playlist on our channel, but we're actually going to be tagging most of those videos on the back end of this video, so definitely wait till the end so you can check those out. The winner of yesterday's Amazon gift card giveaway is William Garcia. Congratulations, William Garcia. You are the winner, so definitely contact on the back end of our channel so we can get your contact details. But if you enjoyed our most recommended survival gear for under $30, definitely give this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about is for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.